If you're a sci-fi action show, there's always some stories that the writers love to tackle: changing scale, time travel, dreams, and nightmares. It's a good way to have an internal struggle or give backstory to the cast. Over the 25 years, Power Rangers has done different takes, from manipulation, control, embarrassment, finding out secrets, and even off-the-wall moments. It could be a nice break on the actors. You're always playing the goody two-shoes, well, now you can be evil and kill your friends in a dream. This list will go from worst nightmare story to the best. How does it affect character? How does it affect the outside world? Is it a fun, gritty side story, or does it directly add to the lore of the season? I'm sticking to episodes that are about actual dream/nightmare scenarios, because there's some episodes that use sleeping. Silent Sleep and Rockabye Power Rangers are two examples, where the Rangers fall asleep but don't enter a dream state, or like Shane's Karma, where it started as a bad dream but has nothing to do with the story. Thank you, Ambush Rebel, for the suggestion. If you have an idea for a topic, throw a comment down below. I might use it one day.
For whom the bell trolls.
I would say this is my most hated episode of MMPR Season 1. I hate reset episodes, like where time travel erases everything, or in this case, everything's being a dream if it's not done right. It just feels like a waste of time. As the viewer, we remember it, but the characters don't. So what was the point? Sometimes these can work out well, either fixing a major problem, it's used in a way where it spills over to a future episode, or it's just so good you don't really mind it happens. Trini's tickle sneezer dream is just not fun. For MMPR, this is your standard type of episode. I never got why they wanted to frame the episode in a dream that's not even caused by Rita. Is Tickle Sneezer any more goofier than the Genie episode? I don't think so. It also shows Trina doesn't even get away from her ranger job when she sleeps. Maybe you should be focusing on something else? The only saving grace is them able to drive a car is not canon because their age issue of where MMPR has to be set in thanks to Turbo. What makes it really suck, this is Trini's doll. Logically, this should have been Trini's episode, but it wasn't. She was trapped in the bottle, so she got nothing to do. They had a US Tickle Sneezer suit. They could have done something with Trini while cutting around the Jew Ranger footage. Just have Billy stuck in the bottle. I think if they had done that, I would be less hard on it. It wouldn't be perfect, but it'd be higher on my list.
Dream Snatcher.
This is your generic Megaforce episode. It's a decent standalone episode. A monster finds out your dreams. With that power, it makes you fall asleep. To break the spell, people have to tell everyone their dreams. So Dream Snatcher loses power. It even works in Robo Knight's nature of trying to understand humans, but it misses the mark on one thing: Emma. She was the main character for this one. The core issue with this cast is the lack of personality past their archetypes. Did Emma change at all in the episode? Sadly, no. She solved the problem, but that was it. If this was in a better season, this would have been a 3 out of 5 story if we got enough character bits early on, so you don't mind a filler in the middle. I think that's how I would describe Megaforce, a season of filler stories where things happen and nothing else.
Broken Dreams.
Another okay episode. They answered a lot of things about Decker and Dayu, so they didn't fail there. The dreams are all different. Mike is smart enough to realize he's stuck in one and uses that to his advantage. That's what I always wanted to see. It's always about willpower in these type of stories, but you can actually break the rules in your dream. Anything is possible. I really didn't like that Mia was stuck with the usual cooking joke. That got old real quick. This could have been where they could have told her she can't cook, you need to get better at it. Do something past that. Mako and Shinkenger had the same quirk, but she wasn't just about food. She did a lot of other things. You didn't mind the whole she can't cook right. Again, don't stick to one piece of personality. That gets boring. No one grows with that. This is why people complain about Samurai in other seasons. One example is Billy. That was a simple, small arc through the first season of MMPR. You could see he got less nerdy over time. That's what's missing in these newer seasons. I'm grateful they worked out a resolution to these villain characters so we could see where they came from. I just wanted that for all the characters.
Dream Battle.
This is a great example of filler. The season's getting close to finishing. There's some expensive episodes coming up, so they do a simple dream story using 2 episodes of Ginga Man, going as far back to episode 1. Hexaba takes advantage of knowing who the Rangers are and just sends tainted flowers. Who's going to expect that? They even try to throw you off with the lady Damon helps out in the opening. Even the electrical storm, you're thinking it's going to be about that, but nope. Eventually, everyone falls asleep, getting trapped inside a shared dream world. But the dream world also has the power to affect the real world. We know the Rangers could die if they're killed inside, and uses all the characters. Mike in a limited way since his counterpart wasn't in the episodes. This technically is a Damon episode, getting small character bits, but the meat of the episode is the dream sequence, going through the different locations. The dream justifies the snow, which would have been a nitpick if it was done normally. I usually don't comment on the directing. Power Rangers is very basic, but they put in some effort into making you feel loopy when the characters are falling asleep. Stuff like this can make a show better. It's not the scariest nightmare out there, but it's enjoyable. Although I'll always complain about Damon calling for the Stratoforce when the Centaurus Megazord showed up.
Nightmare in Amber Beach.
This is a pretty good episode. Heckle is using his advantage he has over everyone since he was playing the good guy, using Shelby's drive to please her father while not wanting to work at their ice cream shop, causing her to be tired and her guard down, giving that small opening for the Nightmare to infiltrate their dreams. This is what I like to see more of, using tactics that don't involve big spectacles. How many times have villains begin a plan and because it involves a celebrity, a building, a citywide problem, the Rangers know what's going on? Go in a more subtle direction, underground missions, stuff like petty robberies, or like here, mess with them when they're tired and vulnerable. That's why a lot of people liked Heckle in the beginning. The episode is boosted up even more thanks to Shelby's father, who is played by James Galen, who played a really oddball character. This was the final episode where Heckle was trying to be his own villain. After this, he turned into Sledge 2.0 and made the season very lackluster.
Crystal of Nightmares.
The very first PR Nightmare episode, by using the Crystal of Nightmares and taking advantage of the Rangers being so busy with this big test, Goldar was able to inject bad thoughts and moments into their dreams. I always saw this as a part 3 to Island of Illusion, but worse. Once they woke up, their confidence was lost. Putties would scare them, they would run away, in a sense, reset themselves to the pilot. This was an excellent plan on Rita's part. She always spies on them. You could see when you could take advantage of them. Having this huge test to the point of the Rangers going to a log cabin to be secluded, that's some dedication. If I were a villain, I'd totally do this. It's a great way to screw with them, especially when Zordon strips them of their powers in the dream. It's a straightforward story. They have to overcome 2 problems, and it gives some good points to Rita's side. That's why I put it really high. It works, it's satisfactory, and it breaks that perfect nature of the cast that they suffer from a lot.
In your dreams.
The 4 original Rangers get trapped in a shared dream. It really felt like a classic MMPR episode. Even if Tommy wasn't a part of Dinothunder, the writers nailed down that feeling of old and mixed in the new. It's much like Crystal of Nightmares, acknowledging that being a Ranger uses up all their time, so when papers and test deadlines happen, they get burned out, staying up late and getting mad. I did get really weirded out when Randall put up a video feed from the Rangers' bedrooms. So here we go again with the spying and inappropriate moments. You can see why these episodes were not used in Dinothunder. Kira's dream features a very goofy monster that falls in love with her, but you don't mind this. It's a dream. The monsters can do practically anything, and it allows the characters to break from their personalities. Kira and Ranru are very different from each other, but Kira can be more expressive in here, or we can see Ethan be more nonchalant to monsters. It's just made up, so I have no issue where Jake changes personality between the Megaforce seasons. That doesn't work. I know you're thinking, why is this one my number 2? Because this is way more entertaining than any of the real clip shows done on Power Rangers with 1 or 2 exceptions. It was an ingenious way using leftover Abba Ranger footage that didn't have Otter Killer in it.
Eye of the Storm.
Even when you're nearing the end, you can still write some good character pieces to finish up. This episode isn't a dream one, but it is a nightmare episode, and it uses a staple of the series as a way to cause conflict. This is why a lot of people love Spider-Man. He's always put in positions where he has to be screwed, since his goal above everything is to keep his identity a secret. This is the cost of having any form of life. It's great to see that a personal issue between Shane and Porter got affected by him being a Ranger. He sees him as a kid, not taking any responsibility. You can argue that his brother hasn't been around him. How can he judge that? He's living alone. He's not homeless, so obviously he's making enough money to survive, and you can see Shane is happy. But it's not the norm. Porter wants the best. He wants to see him in a suit, going to college, getting degrees. Some people just don't need that. So it's family discourse. At the same time, Shane doesn't want to disappoint his brother, which is his worst fear. He wants to be accepted. He saved countless millions on a daily basis, but still, sometimes you could see yourself as useless. That's why I love this episode. There's multiple layers to it. You can see it in a hiding identity from the family, the fear factor, or the deeper meaning on what Shane went through as a kid. I wish to see this type of episode in modern PR. Sensei Guinea Pig guides him, much like Zordon had in the past. If you have to save money, especially in a series that allows pretty much anything, I'd love them to have a Dream Nightmare plot to fill time over a clip show. PR just can't do clip shows right. It's bizarre that they can't because this series is about using stock footage. Dream episodes are basically just that, using leftover material from Sentai episodes to create an episode out of it. Dream episodes allow more because you can use multiple monsters, different locations, even the possibility of reusing footage. The type of stuff you can do. Characters can be totally different, villains can be heroes, the heroes can be weaker, like they can't morph. It's endless. What are your thoughts on Dream episodes? Do I give them too much credit? Do you see them as junky filler episodes? They don't do a lot of stuff, especially when they're nearing the finale. You want to keep up that pace. Sometimes these go flat. New episodes Mondays. Next week, I want to talk about the logical problems of the Power Rangers / Super Sentai universe.